Welcome to PAPERI Bright Minds, where we spotlight the pioneers shaping the future of genomics, public health, and scientific innovation. In this session, we feature Ruth Nanjala, a passionate leader and mentor shaping the global scientific landscape. As the founder of the My Science Journey, MSJ webinar series, Ruth has created a powerful platform connecting established scientists with young researchers, offering mentorship and guidance to the next generation. As the first AfOx Kennedy Trust Prize Studentship scholar, Ruth is currently pursuing a PhD in molecular and cellular medicine at the University of Oxford, where she is advancing research in computational biology and molecular medicine. At PAP.
Yes, so I would like to welcome you all to our webinar today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PAPERI Bright Minds series, where we celebrate and learn from exceptional individuals driving advancements in genetics, genomics, healthcare, and beyond across Africa and globally. So my name is Dr. Andrew Waititu, and it's an honor to have you join with us today. So today we are very thrilled to welcome Ms. Ruth Nanjala. So it's very inspiring to have Ms. Ruth Nanjala with us today. I would like to give a brief introduction of Ms. Ruth Nanjala. She's from Kenya, actually. I'm very proud of what Kenyans are doing out there, making mighty exploits. And so Ms. Ruth Nanjala is a dedicated leader, shaping impactful initiatives across the globe. So Ruth's motivated contributions underscore her commitment to mentorship, education, and community building. She is the founder of My Science Journey, My Science Journey MSJ webinar series. So through this MSJ platform, established scientists are invited to share their science narratives, thus offering mentorship to inspire and guide young scientists who have careers in science. So if you are a young scientist and you're looking for a career in science, you should be listening well. So as the inaugural AfOx Kennedy Trust Prize Studentship Scholar, she was among the first to receive that, or to be among the scholars there, and she is currently pursuing her PhD in molecular and cellular medicine at the prestigious University of Oxford. So in this session, we will explore Ms. Ruth Nanjala's journey, her contributions to mentorship, education, and community building, and the lessons she has learned along the way. So at the end of the session, we'll also open the floor for any audience questions. So if you have a question, you can maybe type it in the chat or stay with it, and then at the end, Mr. Ruth Nanjala will answer the questions that you may have. So, Ms. Ruth Nanjala, I'd like to ask you some of the questions that the audience may be interested in. So, first, we would like you to tell us about your introduction and journey. Would you tell us a little about your academic background and what inspired you to pursue a career in computational biology?
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Andrew, and thank you, Wafa, and the whole PAPERI team for having me here. I am glad to be here today to speak about my experiences and also to just, speak about my science journey and the vision behind it. Thank you, Andrew, for actually, starting by that I'm Kenyan, because I usually like to introduce myself first as a Kenyan before anything else. I am so proud to be Kenyan. And, just a bit of my background. So growing up, I've always been passionate about two things: medicine and computer science. So when I was in high school, at some point, I was prefect in charge of the computer laboratory and all the ICT stuff going on in school. But, as you know, when you leave high school, you need to sort of like apply for, different programs that you want to do in campus. And then the government sort of decides what you're gonna do after the application. So I applied for medical sort of like science degrees, and I was fortunate to be given by the government. If you're Kenyan, you'd know this probably, but if you're not Kenyan, you sort of like list a number of programs you want to do, and then if the government is going to support you on a direct entry, then they're gonna either give you your first option or second or third. So then I ended up doing microbiology, which was actually my first option. And I did this in Pwani University in Kenya. And so how my journey was is that I would say I had like very good mentorship while in undergrad. Pwani University, I keep on saying this, but I think I would re-emphasize it that Pwani University has the best biomedical science program in Kenya. So if you are looking to do biomedical sciences in Kenya, don't even think twice. Just Pwani University, just go. So I would say the mentorship in my undergrad really shaped my career. I had really good mentors, and my supervisor for my undergrad project, Dr. Simon, actually he's now Professor Simon Muriel, really shaped the person that I am today. And getting into computational biology, when I went to do my, during third year, you need to do like a research internship thingy stint. And for us, as I said, we have the best program. So they ensured everyone has been attached somewhere. So for me, I was attached at the International Center for Insect Physiology and Ecology, that's ICIPE in Kenya. And during this internship period, it was a 3 month period. While doing the internship, I got to do a few, short stints in bioinformatics. So, a friend of mine was like, yo, there's this course that is being offered. And since you're already here, why don't you come and do it? Especially since you're interested in computing. At that point, I had only done wet lab sciences. I had zero idea of what bioinformatics is, but I was like, it's computing, let's go. So with just the passion that I had, I managed to join the class, even though I had not even registered initially, but because I was already on the ground, I was able to be allowed to join the class, which was doing at that point Introduction to Bioinformatics Training, IBT, that was being offered in collaboration with the H3 BioNet, if you've heard of this, the Pan-African Bioinformatics Network. So yeah, so I did that, and that particular course really shaped, my pathway, because by the time I left ICIPE, initially I didn't have an understanding of what bioinformatics is, but after the course I had like I still didn't, like exactly know what exactly I was getting myself into, but I had an understanding of what it entails, and I was like, maybe this is what I should be doing, because it sort of like combines, my interest in medical sciences and my passion in computing. So if I can do this one field that merges the two of them, then this is the best option that I can have for myself. So then when I went back to school, I remember for my fourth year, and we were having a conversation with my supervisor at that time about my plans for after fourth year. I was like, I actually want to do a master's in bioinformatics. So, and I was lucky enough because at that time, the Eastern African Network for Bioinformatics Training had launched the Masters in Bioinformatics Training in the previous year. And so this was the second year they were going to run it. Actually, they launched it when I was doing my fourth year in undergrad. So by the time I was going to get into it, we were the second cohort. So yeah, so I mentioned to my supervisor that, this is what I want to do afterwards. And then we went, the back and forth of is this really, really what you want to do? And that's why I say the mentorship I got really shaped me, because I remember at some point I was like, oh no, maybe I'm just, going ahead of myself. Maybe let me just do masters in immunology instead and not bioinformatics. But then he sat with me and, we sort of like discussed what are the pros and cons, why exactly do I want to, am I sort of like torn in between these two programs? And ultimately, I made the decision to actually go for something that I was more passionate about, which was bioinformatics. So that's how I got into the field of bioinformatics. Of course, I did all the applications going through that, and I was fortunate again to get a scholarship to pursue that program. And so that is what I am running with, or I started running with from that point until now. So even though my DPhil is molecular medicine, it's purely, bioinformatics and statistical genetics. So it's purely dry lab. I am not doing any wet lab aspect. I hope this answers the question. Hope it wasn't too long. Andrew.
Yes. Yes, that was very inspiring. Yes, actually what I've gotten from that, like mentorship and passion, they go together. And I hope the participants are learning from that. So yeah, so we'll continue to our question number two. So I'd like to ask you now, so you've talked about what really motivated you to undertake a PhD in molecular and cellular medicine at the University of Oxford. And
Yeah.
how have this experience shaped your career up to now?
Yeah, I think I have spoken about how I got into like sort of like computational biology. And for me
Yes,
to choose this particular course, I would say it's majorly because of the project that I was coming to do. So the project that I was coming to do again was a medical science degree. And as someone who's passionate about human genetics, this project was giving me that chance to actually work in the field of human genetics and work in it from the computational perspective and not wet lab. So that's exactly why I chose this, because it was mostly driven by the project. Because in Oxford, for most PhD programs, you first need to find a supervisor, and then once you've gotten the supervisor, both of you can discuss about the projects that you could work with together, and then the university would sort of like advertise the projects that are available based on the funding. So I applied for this particular one because of the project that was available, and it was a project that I was really, really passionate about. And of course, it's Oxford ultimately at the end of the day.
yes, yeah,
So
very good
yeah, there's
thing.
also that aspect. And then, so how has this shaped my career? I'd say being in Oxford has provided me with a lot of opportunities. I mean, not just in the sort of like scientific field, but even outside the science field. But I would say, yeah, so Oxford has just like opened so many doors and opportunities for me that I believe would be very relevant in moving my career, or moving forward in my career. So there's a capacity building aspect, there's a mentorship aspect, there's a collaborations. Like in my research right now, I think we are collaborating with like 4 different institutions, so there's a lot that I have gained by being in Oxford and doing this PhD degree that probably if I was somewhere else, maybe I wouldn't have had that opportunity.
Wow, wow, that's very great. So yeah, we'll go on. So I hope you are all listening, and if you have questions, maybe you can type at the group and we'll come to them at the end of the session. So now we would like to go to My Science Journey. This is a really great initiative. So you founded My Science Journey webinar series. I have actually seen you in a white t-shirt written MSJ. It's very good. So you founded this webinar series to empower emerging scientists. What led you to create this initiative, and what have been some of the most rewarding aspects of it?
Yeah, my science journey is something that I'm very passionate about. And it's 3 things for me. So number 1, it's telling young African scientists that there are people that look like you. They have walked the same journey that you have walked. They have been in the same rooms, the same environments that you've been, and this is where they are. So it's telling them that you can also get here. So that's number 1 reason, or like overall goal of what MSJ does. And then
Yeah.
number 2, it's telling the young African scientists as well that, there are different pathways that you can take in this field, you know. Science is not just linear. It doesn't mean that, oh, now you have to do undergrad, master's, PhD, postdoc. I mean, that's good. You can do that and become a professor, but there are so many different pathways that you can take as a scientist and, you know, still be a scientist, but doing different things. So we've had like speakers that, you know, are in industry right now. They started from academia, they've moved to industry. There are others that are leading foundations like the Science for Africa Foundation now, like we had Evelyn, who's Chief Scientific Officer for Science for Africa Foundation. There's Dr. Anne McKenna, who's Director for Africa Oxford Initiative right now. You know, there's Yao Bediako, who's started a biotech company in Ghana, Yemachi Biotech, that is geared towards cancer innovation. So basically, it's just showing, you know, young leaders that, you know, there's different routes that you can take based on your passion and commitment for the continent. You can still, you know, go in different ways, but still be doing science. So just telling them, yeah, let's stick with science. But if you're not interested in the linear, in the sort of like master's, PhD, professor, you can still do these other things. And again, if you also want to be a professor, you can still do it. For example, we had like Dixon Nandala as well, who's CEO for National Research Fund. You can also do something like that. So yeah, so that was the second, you know, second objective for MSJ. And then the final one, I think this is something that, you know, has touched me as well, was that we have a lot of brilliant African scientists in the continent, but most of the time, no one knows about any of them. So you ask someone, okay, you know, there's someone that is working on cancer innovation in the continent and this so and so doing this and this, but they'll be like, who's that? I've never heard of that. Unless they have like collaborations with like global institutions like Oxford, then you can hear about them. But if not, then it's very hard to like, you know of or be aware of these, you know, amazing scientists. So for us at MSJ is telling the rest of the world that, you know, we have people that, you know, they could be of African descent or they could still even be in the continent. And this is the amazing things that they are doing. This is an opportunity for you to come and invest. This is an opportunity for you to come and collaborate with these, you know, brilliant scientists, brilliant African scientists. So those three things are the reasons why we run My Science Journey and why we do the things that we do. And speaking about impact, or what, you know, impact we have had so far, I think the impact is massive, but I can give you just one example that correlates to PAPERI. So I got this message recently from someone, and this is what they said. I will read it as they sent it. So I was scrolling through LinkedIn and saw this post, and I thought to reach out and express how amazing the work you're doing is. I've been looking into PRS for African genomes for the better part of the week, and to be honest, the content in that link is extremely useful to my research, but simply Googling it didn't bring them up. Seeing it on your platform means you're doing exactly what you said you would do, bringing scientists together and highlighting the work that is being done by various people. Some work wouldn't surface until the next couple of years of mainstream search engines. And you're an amazing search engine on your own. You're doing amazing, keep it up, and the platform will continue growing.
Yes. Oh.
I will leave it as that.
Yeah, drops my. Yes, yeah, that's very inspiring from you, Ruth Nanjala. So as we've heard, like there are many scientists out here, and I believe in also in this webinar right here, some of you great scientists that we maybe don't know you yet, maybe Anilza, Bihamid, yeah, they are, and I'm sure they are very great scientists, and we should just be inspired by that. So thank you for answering that question very well. And now we go about to mentorship and capacity building. So as someone passionate about capacity building, what do you think are the most critical areas for young scientists in Africa to focus on in their development? So what will be the most critical areas for maybe young scientists here?
Yeah. Andrew, I mean, this area, like, there's so much that you can do. that is critical for your development. But in an era where we have a lot of information on the internet, you can easily wake up and do a course if you want to improve your, technical skills. So say you want to learn bioinformatics, you can easily get on like FutureLearn and learn about bioinformatics. So we are in an era where there's an overabundance of information. So I'd say one, you need to capitalize on this kind of information. So depending on the line of research or science you're interested in, maximize the training opportunities available in that area. But the greatest thing I would say that people need to work on, I think, is this people skills and the soft skills. You might be good like in the technical area, but I think a lot of times the things that, hinder sort of like progress is in terms of like the people skills and the soft skills. So what do I mean by this? A lot of things you actually work because of networks that you have. So for example, if we have a board that is meeting and they're like, we are starting this project, and who do you think we can allocate or assign this to do for us? There are so many people that have expertise in this particular thing that they want, to be run. But what changes the game is, who is in your network that can speak about you in rooms that you're not there. So in rooms of opportunities or in tables where decisions are being made, who can speak on your behalf? So it's very important for young scientists to know the relevance or the importance of building networks in this career. Don't go and be burning bridges. If you've been connected to someone and maybe someone put you in an internship position somewhere, go and do your best. Don't go and burn bridges, because then it means next time when they're asked, can you recommend so and so, they'll be like, no, I cannot put my name, or I cannot give you so and so to work with. So it's very important for people to learn and know how to build networks, because that is very important and relevant in this career. And then number 2 is mentorship. I cannot overemphasize the importance of mentorship in the scientific career. And I mean, if you're interested in knowing more about this, you ought to have signed up on MSJ by now. So networking, mentorship, and capitalizing on the training opportunities that are already publicly available, I would say, are the 3 most important or critical skills that young scientists should have.
Yeah, wow, that's very great. So I hope you're noting down that your soft skills also use the training opportunities available. For example, PAPERI also offers some courses in policy and
Yeah.
genomics. So try always enroll and do your best. So the other question that I'd like to your side is, how can we further support the growth and sustainability of science mentorship programs like My Science Journey? So
Yeah.
how can we as a community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot that can be done to support the growth and sustainability. A lot of work goes into bringing to life programs like My Science Journey. So getting like, I would speak to like universities and research institutes. For example, with My Science Journey, we can partner with like, different universities in the African continent to be able to, bring MSJ hybrid sessions, for example. So I give you an example, like last year, actually early this year, January, we were at Cambridge Wellcome Trust. We hosted My Science Journey from Cambridge Wellcome Trust. So things like this, because it means we get to reach a broader audience that maybe sometimes would have been limited by, maybe when we are hosting the live sessions, they have like classes, or they didn't have like bundles to join the live sessions. So if we can host them in institutes or universities, it means we get to reach a broader audience, and we get to impact more, young African scientists at their places of where they are. So meeting them where they are. So I would say if you would like to partner with MSJ, if you're a university in Africa or research institute in Africa and like to partner with MSJ to bring these stories to life and also to, give a platform for these stories to be told within your institute, then please reach out to us. I think Andrew, I'll share email later on, and then you can add it to this video so people can easily reach out to us. And then number two, there's a lot of monetary support that is needed to run this kind of programs as well. So in as much as we try to, get like small fundings here and there to support us, I think being able to get, like funding that would ensure sustainability of MSJ, because as you can, there's a lot that goes on in terms of like, the video editing, the speaker hosting, the, website materials, the marketing materials. There's a lot of monetary, needs that go into that. So, you could also partner with us or collaborate with us in this angle as well. And also feel free to reach out if this is something that you'll be interested in doing as well. And then the other final aspect I would say is, I've talked about partnership, but also this is in line with collaborations as well. So we can collaborate on different things like offering a workshop. We could do a technical workshop. We could do a soft skills workshop, so that when we are talking about what are the things that we can do for young African scientists, for them to be able to grow in their careers, these are things that we can actually, make them a reality. So we can partner and, do like a soft skills workshop or a technical skills workshop with your research institutes or universities in Africa. So again, feel free to reach out.
Yes, that's very great. So yeah, you can share with me so that I can share with the rest. It would also be great to see my science journey reaching more and more Africans, inspiring more Africans, and collaborating also with institutions out there.
Yeah.
So yes, so I'll go to, so now I'd like us to talk more about challenges and opportunities in African science. So what are some of the unique challenges that African scientists face? So, and how do you think we can overcome them to foster a more robust scientific community? You are an African scientist, so maybe you can tell us some that exist and how we can, how we can overcome. Yeah.
Yeah, this is there's a lot that African scientists face, and a lot of it has to do with challenges in terms of like, funding, infrastructure development, research opportunities. So, for example, it's very easy for you to get funding to go and attend a conference if you're abroad, right? You can easily apply for a grant and snap of a finger, you get a grant. And when you're talking about networking and all these things, you need to be in rooms where you can actually network for you to network. So it means that if you don't get funding to sort of like attend conferences, symposiums, you're limited in terms of the networks that you can build. But if you're able to go, within and outside the country and be able to be in these rooms, then it means you can expand your network. So that is one of the challenges, that there are fewer, grants or like, funding to sort of like attend conferences, symposium, or trainings within the continent. I mean, right now, a few of these things are changing, but it's a gradual process. So, and then the other thing is in terms of infrastructure. So if you think about maybe something in line with the science, is that it's a lot of money that goes there, because you need money for the reagents if you're doing wet lab. If you're doing computational work, you need the infrastructure, you need the servers, you need the computers, you need like like GPUs and things like that. Like you need and these things take a lot of money as well. So, in as much as people would want to run like these workshops, you can't just run them if you don't have the resources to run them, right? So there's that, infrastructure gap as well. The ENBIT program, for example, has helped resolve some of this, of course, because of the shorter trainings that are offered in bioinformatics in collaboration with H3 but for most universities, this is still a challenge in African countries. And also, so like, in terms of infrastructure as well, I was listening to a friend talk about how if you're doing wet lab and you need reagents, you need to start planning 6 months in advance, because it means that when you order the reagents, you are not sure when they are going to show up. It could be
Yeah.
up to 6 months before they show up. So
Yeah.
these are some of the unique challenges that we face. Here in Oxford, if you order reagents, they will be delivered in 3 to 7 days. You have your reagents. So it's very easy for you to do research, like if you have the sort of like support that you need to do them. But these are some of the things that are not things we can associate with or correlate with if you're back in the African continent. A lot is still being done, and a lot can still be done to overcome this. But I think what exactly can be done, or is, I don't know how to say this, especially now that we have the challenge of, okay, I will not say it before I am quoted, before I am quoted, but I would say what we can do to overcome this, I think, is fostering international collaborations. So that people can get to, even though it's harder for you to get like funding to attend conferences opportunities when you're still in the continent, if you've partnered with other organizations, it means these other organizations can support you to go for these opportunities. In terms of like reagents and sending samples, I think there is a lot that can be done in that area, and in terms of infrastructure. But I think money would solve a lot of our problems. So if we can figure out where to get the money, then a lot of our problems in terms of like research in the continent will be solved.
Yes, there are really a lot of challenges in Africa. When I had both the USAID funding being cut and really affects
Yeah.
research in Africa. So yeah, so on the next question, are there any exciting developments or innovations coming from African scientists that you're particularly excited about?
Yes. So I
Wow.
am very excited about Yamachi Biotech.
Yeah,
I mean,
about,
they've been Yeah,
pardon,
so there've been like a few biotech companies in Africa, but I think
yeah.
of recent, Yamachi Biotech is pioneering, the future of cancer innovation in Africa. I have personally got like traveled and had the opportunity to visit their labs in Accra. And I can tell you for sure, in the next 10 years, this would be like the leading biotech company in terms of cancer innovation. And I am excited about everything that they're going to be doing. The CEO, Dr. Yao Bediako, and the rest of the team are incredible people. And the vision they have for this biotech company is massive. So if you haven't heard of this, and if you are someone that would like to partner or collaborate with them in the African space, please reach out to them. These people are like brilliant, and the vision they have is truly inspiring. So yeah, that is something that I'm excited about.
Yes, Africans are doing, so it's in Ghana.
Yes, it's in Ghana, but they partner with research institutes across the African continent, but the offices are in Ghana. And even in Ghana, I met a few of their employees that are non-Ghanaian. So like, I met like a few Kenyans there that are working for Yamachi. So it's just that their offices are in Accra, but they are partnering with a lot of African institutions. So yeah.
Okay, wow, that's nice. At least Africa, it seems like in the next near future, we are going further and further.
Yes.
So now we are on your personal reflections and advice. So looking back at your career so far, I can see you're still young. What are some of the key moments or experiences that have shaped your path?
Yeah, key moments. Okay. I would say I've already spoken about my internship at ECP and how it helped me transition into, or it's provided foundation for me to transition into computational biology. So that's one key moment. Uh, the other key moment was, when after I finished my master's in bioinformatics, I had a 1 year um, period of time where I was involved in mentoring and teaching bioinformatics. Actually, program management, mentorship, teaching, everything. At ICIPE. So I was running the bioinformatics mentorship and incubation program where we were taking like interns that have just completed the undergraduate and taking them through a 4 months training in bioinformatics. So we would teach them technical bioinformatics skills, but we would also mentor them as well as teach them soft skills. So I would say that is another key moment that shaped me, because not only did it build sort of like my project management leadership skills, but also it showed me the power of collaboration, the power of knowledge transfer, the power of investing in young African scientists. And most of the people that went through that program either got like massive opportunities within and outside the country, or they got job opportunities. So it just means that for most of these things, people just need a small seed, like for someone to just believe in them and be like, plant a seed. Once the seed is there, they can drive, to whichever route and whichever, ambitions. Yeah, so I would say that was another key moment for me. And the final one, I would say participating or being part of student politics here at Oxford has also shaped me a lot in like various ways. But of course, my leadership skills and have been sort of like expounded. So yeah, those, I would say those three things have are some of the key moments that I can recall as of now that have shaped
Yeah.
my career path to where I am.
Yes, I've heard you mention student politics. Maybe can you maybe just elaborate a bit? Maybe what
Maybe I
position
should just have
student?
said my science journey and skipped
Yeah.
the student politics bit.
Okay, okay, okay.
But
Yeah, that's.
so in my second year, I was vice president for the Africa Society in Oxford, and I
Uh-huh.
was involved a lot in matters, all things Africa, for African students in Oxford. I also was a co-convener for the Oxford Africa Conference, which is one of the largest African-focused events in Europe. Actually, we hosted maybe I shouldn't say this, but anyway, it's already online. We hosted
It's
former
already
Prime
on.
Minister Honorable Raila Odinga as our keynote,
Oh,
last year.
wow.
Yes, and we had other, very, good speakers and brilliant speakers. Like Africa, we are blessed. We have
Yes, it is.
amazing minds. We have brilliant people. We just
Yeah,
need to know or to learn how to invest in the resources that we have. If we can
yes,
capitalize on the resources, especially the human resources that we have, we would be very far. Because I can tell you for sure, from my experiences during like just being in Kenya and out of Kenya, I have met with like absolutely incredible, brilliant Africans, not just in the science space, but even outside. If we can just capitalize on this, then we'll go very far. So yeah, that was my life as a student politician, but now I have moved on.
yeah. Wow, that's very inspiring as well. I'm sure that
Yeah.
that journey will take you further because in Africa we need such leaders who have a vision, and hopefully in the next phase you will be joining the African AU maybe someday.
Well, we'll
So,
see. We'll see.
the second question that I will have on your reflections was, what advice would you give to young aspiring scientists in Africa, especially those looking to break into computational biology or molecular medicine or PhDs,
Mm.
in a prestigious institution like, Oxford.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. I mean, yeah, Oxford. Oxford is a very good place to be, but I mean, there's so many other, excellent institutions that you could be in. So, yeah, but the advice I would give to aspiring scientists, and I think I've already like mentioned a few of these. Of course, there's mentorship. I cannot overemphasize that. There's, taking up training opportunities. There's, showing up and being consistent at what you do. People tend to believe in you when they see what you can actually do with if someone invests in you like in a smaller way and you're able to capitalize on that and, perform really well, they will be confident to give you a bigger, task or a bigger goal. So be consistent, show up, don't burn bridges. When you're given an opportunity, make the best of it. And then, of course, you have to be persistent. Sometimes these things, they require a lot of resilience. It's not smooth sailing always. There's gonna be like ups and downs, but you need to be resilient. As long as you know that, this is what I wanna do in this career, and you will be good. So if I give you an example, when I started bioinformatics, I knew nothing about bioinformatics. I mean, I had done computing in high school. I had an idea of what computing is, but the computing I did in high school and the computing that was bioinformatics was totally different. So it was a steep learning curve for me. But, if I tell you of how far I have come, I mean, I don't like, if you look at my journey from being someone who had zero idea about bioinformatics, right now I'm in a position where I teach bioinformatics, not only in Kenya, but across the world. So I see Tahira has even sent a message here about the course that we are running right now on FutureLearn, on bioinformatics for biologists. So this is me right now teaching, and this is someone that started from zero. So it means you just, if you're resilient, if you know what you want to do, if you stay on your journey, it's gonna make sense. So absolutely, just give your best to anything you do, and it's gonna make sense at the end of the day.
yes, very inspiring. So just give your best, and it's gonna make it. So now we are on the final step of questions. We are whereby your future aspirations. So right now you are at the peak of maybe your career, and as we can see, it's going further. So, what are your long-term goals, both personally and professionally, and how do you see your work contributing to the advancement of science in Africa, or even globally,
Yeah.
since you are international now?
Oh my God, I wouldn't say I'm at the peak of my career. I would say I am still building my career. Um, there's still a long way to go. But if I look, into the future and what I would love to be doing for the advancement of science in Africa, I think by now you've probably realized that I'm very passionate about the African continent and about Africa generally. So my long-term goal is to contribute to capacity building initiatives within the African continent. This could take forms in different ways. I mean, I don't have like a specific way where I would say, okay, I want to be CEO, or I want to be like, in charge of the science at the African Union. No. This could take various forms, but I want to be in a position where I could actively contribute to capacity building. This could be maybe in the space of building collaborations between African institutions and global institutions. It could be in training African scientists in the technical expertise that I have within human genetics space, bioinformatics, statistics. It could be even in policy. So, for example, if I end up at the AU, I would love to contribute to policy initiatives that shape, advancements of science in the continent, and also also contribute to building infrastructure for the advancement of science in the continent. So I know this is a lot. It could be termed very ambitious, but looking into the future, these are the things that I would love to do for the Africa. I am very passionate about Africa, and so everything I'm thinking and doing is African focused and African advancement. So yeah, I would say that, and also just of course, you have to tie it to global institutions, because for most of these things or some of these things to work, there needs to be that bit of global collaborations as well. So yeah, I am excited about the future, and we'll see what it holds.
Wow, yeah. Looking and hearing that and seeing that, seems like, Africa, we are on the right path. And a few years from now, Africa will be a really great continent. So, so if you are listening and you have any questions, you can type them on the group, because after this question, now we will open the floor to the audience. So, are there any upcoming projects or initiatives that you are particularly excited about?
Yeah, of course. I am excited about my science journey and of
Yeah,
what we are building and how that is growing. When we started, it was just a small network of people. When we started it, I was just thinking about my interns, as I would term them, the ones that I was working with during my time as bioinformatics and my bioinformatics incubation program lead at ICIPE. So I started thinking about them and their future after the internship program. But thinking about how it has expanded right now, we have moved from Kenya and we are even working with other African scientists. Um, and thinking about the future, if we are going to be collaborating with like universities and research institutes in Africa, this is going to be big. Like the mentorship and the networks that MSJ is going to provide is going to be massive. So if you're yet to get on board with MSJ, this
yeah,
is the time. This is the
okay,
time to get on
yes,
board with MSJ. And I think just to finalize on everything that I have said today, Andrew, I would say,
yes,
you know, wherever you are as a young scientist, wherever you are, capitalize on that opportunity. It is the opportunity that you have right now that would open the door for the next opportunity. If you mess it up, then it's probably gonna block the future opportunities. And one thing I learned about the science field, it's very small niche. Yani, it's like a circle. When you think that you've run away or I will never meet these people again, you come and meet them. You come and meet them, and then there will be nowhere to hide. So I
yeah,
think I have overemphasized this, but wherever you are, give it your best. Don't
yes.
burn bridges,
Mhm.
network, ensure you get a proper mentorship. And as a young African scientist, you'll be good. And I think that will be my final sentiment for you, Andrew.
Wow, yes, that's very great. So yeah, we've really had a nice interview. So I could just go on and go on, but now I want to open the floor. And I'm sure the audience is also excited and they would love to ask questions. Okay, yeah, you can type if you have any question, you can type in the chat or you can raise your hand. So now this is an opportunity of a lifetime, I'm sure, as you've had, take that chance. And now this is your chance. So I'd like to open the floor to anyone with a question to Ms. Ruth Nanjala. Yes. Yes. So I can see in the chat there are some questions. We have Wijen, who has asked, which are the main courses or certification skills that are in demand to help you win scholarships in Oxford or similar universities? Yes, that's a very good question, actually.
Yeah, this is a good question. Right. So if you are thinking of like master's opportunities, I would say right now, again, we are in an era where there is an overload of information. Every day on LinkedIn, I see people posting about how I got into Harvard, how I got into Oxford, how I got into Cambridge, blah, 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 etc. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that there are so many people that are or have worked in the scholarship application space and have worked with people and are helping them out in, scholarships application. So LinkedIn is your place to be. LinkedIn is your answer in terms of I don't think you need like any sort of like specific certification. But of course, if you're applying for a master's, like for example, in international health and tropical medicine, you have to have a background or have experience for you to actually make an application in this field. So in as much as someone would come and say, okay, I would help you polish your motivation statement or your CV, it has to
Yeah.
align to the program. So I'd say number one is whatever you want to apply for, does it align with your background and your experience and your motivation? Right? If you can tick
Yes.
these boxes, then you can say, okay, I have the number one requirement. If whatever you're applying fits the requirement of the course, then you can move and say, okay, let me now find someone to help me polish my application. Then you can, of course, reach out. If you DM people on LinkedIn and just ask them, I am so and so, don't send a vague message. I am so and so. I would like to apply for this course. This is my background. And because of based on your expertise, I would like for you to help me. There'll be a lot of people that can help you. I personally would love to assist, but there's so much going on in my life, and committing to that might be a challenge right now. And also, I only have expertise in certain spaces. I can only speak to human genetics, medicine, bioinformatics fields. I cannot speak to like social sciences, law, MBA, MPP, public policy space, because that is not my area of expertise. So my short answer for this is that first know the requirements of the scholarship and for the course. If you meet those requirements, find someone to polish your applications, and that is all you need. Honestly, that is all you need. And then for some of these universities, they have a mentorship scheme. Last year when I was VP, I did run the Oxford one. But every year there is a mentorship scheme that these universities like Oxford, Cambridge, they run to assist applicants to apply to these institutions. Apply for those schemes, apply to be part of those. And of course, don't just send a vague application. There's like, in my year, we had 1,400 applicants, but we only needed 300. So it means 1,100 cannot, were not taken. So be very competitive in your applications as well, even for those mentorship schemes. I hope that answers your question.
So yeah,
Can I talk?
region.
When I
Yeah.
can find these games?
LinkedIn as well. So like, for example, for Oxford, if you just type Oxford University Africa Society, you will see it there. But for last year, I think it has ended, so you have to wait for the call for this year to open. Cambridge as well. If you type Cambridge Africa Society, you should also see the links for the scheme when they open.
Okay, thank you very much. It was really helpful. Thank you for your presence. I was inspired. I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So we can continue to the next question. So Tahira, good afternoon. So I'll just read it. Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Afam. I actually joined because the name is familiar to me. I'm in the My Science Journey WhatsApp group. Yes, Ruth, you have fans, and I'll soon start the course on future land where Ruth is a trainer. I'm following your footsteps. Yes, you have a mentee, and I'm ready to relocate. Yes, very ready to relocate. I I definitely applied to last year's fully funded master's there in bioinformatics. I'm
Yeah.
from Mauritius and I'm so very interested in bioinformatics. I'm
Yeah.
working on my research proposal from an MPhil PhD program. I also want to start something like MSJ. How to proceed? Any other advice for me? Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
First of all, you don't need to start something like MSG. You have to be to be unique in your own way. But also, if you have an idea that you'd like to collaborate again with MSG, just feel free to reach out. We can collaborate together. And then about your interest in bioinformatics, actually last year, November, we were in Mauritius for the Data Science in Africa conference. And University of Mauritius has a very good program in this line. I mean, I don't know whether they offer masters in bioinformatics, but I know they have very good links with the Pan-African Bioinformatics Network. So if you reach out to, I think she's called Yasmin Fakim at the University of Mauritius, she can give you like a very direct, you know, uh, response on how you can maneuver your space within the Mauritius space and also within just the African space, because she has a lot of networks in this field. So yeah, feel free to reach. I think yeah, it's Yasmin Fakim. If you reach out to her, she's a lecturer at the University of Mauritius.
Yes, that's very great. That's very good. At least now your last question is answered, Sinjeri. So my main takeaway is resilience makes all the difference. Once you identify what you want and give yourself time to grow, upskill as much as you can and make sure you are in the right places to effectively network. Yes, those are great points. So hello, I do not have a question, but a request. I am on the start of my bioinformatics journey. Can I please contact you? Possibly being mentored through? Thanks in advance.
Oh my God, I am so scared of like committing to taking mentees at this point, because honestly, time. I don't want to just say,
Yeah.
yes, I will take you in and then I wouldn't be there to offer you the support that you need. So what I would say is I'm trying to remember the name. There's a program that actually does like mentorship for bioinformatics specifically. It's called Bioinform Her. Yes, Bioinform Her. Also on LinkedIn, if you I think they usually advertise like a cohort that they take every now and then. So if you Google them, you should be able to see avenues in which you can get involved with them, and then they can like mentor you in this space. I think I'll just type the name here.
Yeah, kindly type in the
Bioinfo.
chat.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that should assist.
Yes, maybe
Oh,
you
I
can
see
also share
Tahira
your
says
LinkedIn
Yasmin was
profile.
her lecturer. Yeah, Yasmin would be a very great person to help you, Tahira. Capitalize on that. You know, a lot of times we try to look for support from outside, when what we want is actually next to us. So capitalize on what is actually next to you. And then she would, of course, have like very relevant networks that you can work on.
Great. So blessing. I I hope that you answered that you can check the bioinformatics page.
I think that's
So
her guy.
that's her
Blessing, we
guy.
have not, yeah, we haven't gotten to
Oh
blessings
yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah. Hey, thank you for that. So yeah, we are in blessing. That's a good name. Blessing. It's good to learn that you didn't know much about bioinformatics before venturing into it and finally became an expert. Yeah, you are even a lecturer now. I have enrolled twice in the H3 BNet course, but dropped out because I didn't understand much.
Mm,
And this is an area I really like, I really want to
mm.
explore.
Yeah, I mean, blessing, I would say like if you have like zero background in this area and you're coming into it, it means that you're going to need to put a lot of energy and time investment to actually learn. Because this is not something that you just read theoretically and say, yes, what is the name of so and so, and then you get it and then you can cram it afterwards. No, it needs you to like heavily invest in learning how to actually like, understand the concept and also code them, because the way bioinformatics is, it's like it's a sequence of steps. Before you're able to code something, you have to be able to understand, what question am I trying to answer? How can I get to this answer? These are the sequence of steps for me to get to this answer. So I'll start from step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, until I get to the final step, which answers my question. So you have to sort of like break it down. So I would say what worked for me is, I knew this is what I want to do. So no matter what, I have to learn and get this done. So the FutureLearn, the Bioinformatics Network, has a lot of courses. So I don't know the one that you did, but if you look out for Introduction to Bioinformatics Training, it has basic learnings that you can take. And even the courses that I am doing for FutureLearn, the one that I'm teaching, that's a course 2. Before you do that course, you needed to have done course 1, which is also available on FutureLearn. So you can check out the initial course before you sign up for the second course, where I am a tutor. I wasn't a tutor for the first course. So that would help you figure out whether you are on the right course or not. So if you're just starting out, start with the initial course, which breaks down things like a bit simpler before you get into the complex stuff. But again, take it easy on yourself. I would say don't give up. Just, keep trying. A lot of these things you learn by doing them. So don't just look at the videos and then look at the whatever materials and then leave it as that. No, code yourself. So like the way I do if you have 2 screens, you can put them on different screens. If you have 1 screen, split the screen. The one side of the screen have the lesson. The second part have your black screen or your terminal. So when you're seeing or what is happening there, code it yourself. That is how you get to learn with time. And then if you feel you're stuck, reach out. In that like FutureLearn course that we run, a lot of people have provided like answers for questions that people don't understand, because I might maybe take a bit of time to come and respond, but someone else might actually respond. So ask. I think that's the other thing you need to know. If you feel you're stuck, just ask. Just say, I was running this code. This is the error that it's throwing. I cannot understand what is happening here. Help. So ask for help. And then, yeah, I think you'll be fine. And I wish you all the best in your bioinformatics journey. Blessing.
Thank you very much. So just learning and also all the best. Blessing. Yeah, so there's Jeffrey. Can I get a recording after the meeting? Yes, Dr. Wafa has answered. So it will be available in the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. So despite being in the field of HR, this is Tembo. I am really encouraged by your journey, my sister. And I am now seeing the value of continuing being consistent. Thank you so much. Keep going. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, keep going. So yes, if you're in this meeting, to stay updated with our latest activities, events, and webinars, I encourage everyone to subscribe to our social media channels. This will ensure you receive timely updates and can easily share our initiatives with colleagues. So yeah, the PAPERI login channels are there. I'm also sure Ruth will type the MSJ platform there so that if there's somebody who wants to join, they can join. Right, Ruth?
Yeah, I'm actually just typing that now.
Okay. So Wijden says thank you. Tahira says she was my lecturer. Ruth bioinform her. That is the LinkedIn. If you want to be mentored in bioinformatics and you want to learn, make sure you follow bioinform her. So please, you'll find all the MSJ details on this website.
Yeah, and I'll just give me a moment to actually share the WhatsApp link for
Yeah,
MSJ.
please do.
I see also a couple of people typing. Is it possible for just someone to unmute? I think that would be faster and speak.
Yeah.
Andrew?
Yes, it's possible. It's actually possible for someone to unmute and speak. So Olatunde, and Jeffrey. The floor is yours. We want to hear your voice as well. Thank you, Ruth, the team behind the stage. Yes, you're very welcome, Olatunde. Make sure you subscribe to my science channel. Oh yes, there goes the WhatsApp link. So we are just about to close this meeting. So make sure you have done, followed PAPERI, followed my science channel. Make sure you don't miss some of this and to learn more as we grow together. So yeah, I believe everything is there. I would like, before I close, I would like to welcome the owner of PAPERI, the one who have led this great initiative. Wafa, I would like to now give the floor to you. So thank you, Ruth, and for sharing incredible insights and experiences. We also appreciate your time. We know you are a
Thank you
very
so
busy
much
person,
for having
and
me.
for your time. So I'd like to welcome Wafa. The floor is now yours.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Rose, for your advice. Really, this meeting is very wonderful with your inputs and your advice for the young scientists. As you see, I didn't talk along the meeting, but I'm so happy with questions asked by many scientists, African scientists, and your advice for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And for the
Wafa.
link of for MCG, I sent on PAPERI WhatsApp, and I encourage all to participate to learn from the what you are doing. And this is very good example and a great vision that you are doing. Thank you so much, Ross.
Thank you, Wafa. Thank you for having me. And thank you for the great initiative that PAPERI is. I also can't, wait to see how far this goes as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. And
Andrew, you're muted.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Everybody, bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.